Hi guys, and welcome back to another December daily video. If you'd watched my previous one, I'll link it below. I'd actually forgotten to put my elf letters away into this bag, so that's just what I'm doing here. And this is what I'm working with for day 2, and I've got two 6x8 photos, two 4x8 photos, 3 4x6 photos, and I believe, yeah, it's a 3x4 photo as well. I'm just sticking the 6x8s back to back, and then I will grab, I didn't get it quite right, so I have to do a little bit of trimming, and then I'll grab a page protector to punch the holes down the side because it's just going to go straight into the album as is, no page protector. I look at this album as a mini album, so I don't mind having them outside the page protectors. And just getting the holes punched in there, and I think I punched one hole. The top hole was a little bit too high, so it was a bit tight going into the album, so I have to re-punch that top hole. Just testing it out there, and yeah, I have to punch the hole again. But I love how these photos turned out, the big photos in the album. And these are the 4x8 photos, and I'm using double-sided tape to stick them back to back, and you can see my hands go up. Yeah, I got it crooked again. A little bit of trimming, not so bad on this one. And I want it to sit the same size as the 6x8, so I'm lining them up and punching the holes exactly in the same spot. So I've already popped that 4x6 in from, it's in the back of day 1. And I'm just going through my page protectors and grabbing another page protector to put these two 4x6s in. And I don't know why they do it, but the 4x6 slots, they're bigger than 4x6. I don't know why they do it. The 3x4s, they're not so bad. So, and I also have this little Instax that I want to put in as well. And I'm just going to make a pocket out of two 3x4 cards, and they're from a Kaisercraft collection. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll link it below. And I just make a little pocket. I just put some score tape along 3 sides and then stick them together, or try to. Can never get anything straight. And then just, yeah, there's the hands. Didn't get it straight. Just punch some holes down the side, and then I'm going to pop that Instax in, and that's just I also punch a little notch with my 1-inch punch just to make it easier to pull the Instax in and out. And the Instax is just a picture of what I got in my little crafty advent calendar from Corinne, so I want to include that in my album this year every day. Now I am working on, I'm trying to decide actually what number I want to use for this day. So I had that little container out, and that's just got a whole heap of numbers I cut with my Cameo. Excuse my son in the background. And obviously I'm chopping and changing because I'm back to this card and getting my Dymo labeler out to, I think I wrote day 2, yes. Yeah, I chop and change a lot. And I wanted a gold label, that's right, so I am going through everything trying to find a gold label, and I think I ended up using a LE Studio gold label. I think I got it in a kit like a long time ago. Yeah, no, Chic Tags, sorry. It's Chic Tags, and I'm sorry if you can hear the kookaburras in the background. It's the only time I can do a voiceover. They're going crazy. the only time I can do a voiceover is early in the morning, so I get all the birds chirping, and I press stop because they're getting really loud. Now they're making noise as soon as I press record again. So just putting that label down, the Dymo labeler. I wanted a bit of ribbon to put on the end of that Instax, and I ended up using this gold ribbon and just stapling it to the end, just to have something to help pull that Instax in and out. So now I'm back at the start of day 2, figuring out a journal card that I want to use next to this photo of my daughter in the elf ears. And I believe I used a pre-made one that I'd cut up all my cards. There it is, and I decorated some, and I will have a video. I just got to get all the footage together, and I'll pop that video up of me making these cards out of the kit that we got from Kitaholic Kits. And now I'm back to working on what I wanted for the number. Oh, I also pulled this little frame out. All us design team girls, we sent each other Christmas gifts, like a little crafty kind of parcel, on top of doing the advent calendar swap with each other. And that little happy day frame was actually from Katie, and it just worked perfectly. And when I was making my advent calendar for Corinne, I actually got some cupcake liners and misted them with colour shine. So I had a few spare, so I just kind of scrunched it up a bit to make it a bit smaller. I punched that circle from some Star Vellum, and that was from Studio Calico, I'm pretty sure. And because I had a bit of twine on one side, I wanted to add a bit more twine to the other side, so I'm just going to make a messy kind of ball of twine and some gold metallic sewing thread to go under the vellum, and then I'll just pop the number on top of that Star Vellum there. So back to working with this 3x4 photo, and my printer had printed it funny, like a funny border around it, didn't print it straight, so one border was larger than the other side. So this frame worked out really well, if I can talk. I did have to adjust that heart there. It was just a heart that was popped up on some foam. It was actually hanging off the side a little bit, and it wouldn't have fit back in the pocket, so I just moved it over a little bit and then popped it back into the pocket there. Now, because I had that 6x8 and the 4x8 out of the photo the page protectors, excuse me, I did want some tabs on there, so I grabbed some gold cardstock from my stash and my We Are Memory Keepers tab punch, and I do put a tab on each of these photos. So back to this little kind of insert, and I'm just pop in a date on there, and I did write in the info that I wanted on that label about what the photo was about. And I did want to decorate the back because the other side, there you go, was about us decorating the tree the next day. And these are actually cut with my Cameo, and they're free cut files that I got in my Facebook group. And I wanted to use one, so I grabbed the fun one out, and I'm just testing all my red inks to decide what colour to colour it up. I think I went with the Well Red, and then I painted some Kaiser Mist. I'm not sure what color. It's a red, but I'm not sure what color that's actually called. And I did end up having to go back in and darken it up when I actually go to use it, because it still wasn't quite the red that I wanted. And this is just a page that I typed all my journaling out on with my old typewriter. And I am going to stick some strips of journaling onto this 3x4 card to start off with, and then I will move on to my 6x8 picture. So just sticking down some journaling onto the actual photo. And I do the same for the back side of this photo, the other 6x8. I don't know what happened to the footage, or whether I must have forgot to press record or whatever. But I just do the same process on the back, and you'll see pictures of that at the end. And now I'm just working on the 4x8s, and I grabbed a sticker from the sticker sheet from the Kitaholic Kits Document December kit, and I just put 2 little lines of journaling underneath it. We actually didn't get to put our ornaments onto the tree the night before because I accidentally got the lights all tangled up, and untangling them I broke them, and that's the first thing I like to put on the tree. So the elves actually fixed the lights for us, and that's actually the story that I put on that big 6x8 picture of the elves in the tree, them fixing the lights so we could finish decorating. So back to this little card again. I typed out some journaling on my old typewriter, and I'm going to stick down this doily and the gold glittered star, which is a Heidi Swap chipboard star. And then I just very undecided whether to put the fun on there, and it takes me a while, but I do end up going with it and putting the journaling on there as well. And yet again, moving on to something different. This card, I wanted to bring some red down the bottom there because it had that red banner at the top. So I just popped a bit of that Kaiser Mist down there, and this little red puffy heart is actually from my advent calendar from Corinne. And I just pop on some bling there and call that one done. then I wanted to bring a touch of red down to where the number was. So I'm just going to add some red sequins. I've only got one size and I couldn't find my red little rhinestones. So once I do get something a little smaller, I will add a few little smaller red either rhinestones or sequins onto this number. So back to this card again, and I take the fun off and on, off and on, off and on. I just couldn't decide, and then I end up sticking it on. I did want that pop of red and having the fun pointing at the pictures of us decorating the tree. So that's it for me today, guys. I am going to slow this down to real time and flip back through my album to the start. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and come check out my Facebook group. I'd love to have you there, and I will catch you in the next video. I'm not sure when, but I will be continuing this, even if it continues till way after Christmas. No one says that we have to have it finished before Christmas, right? I will just continue to keep going, and I will catch you in my next video. See ya!